Hey guys, sorry there was no video last week, but I didn't have a lesson, so that's why. But I started this lesson off by brushing her, of course. So now I'm just lunging her, getting all her wiggles out, but she was really tired today, so I think we could have gone without lunging her, but it's alright. So my instructor went to the NFR, which was in Las Vegas, and so it was just her husband here, and he was taking care of the horses, and Ruger apparently doesn't like him, and when he found out that I was coming that day to go clean out her stall and work with her a little bit, he was like, oh god, I don't think that's a good idea, and all that stuff. So that's what she's talking about. And when I say she didn't like him, she was trying to kick him and all that stuff.
I would not let her mess with that horse right now. I've never seen that horse like this. I mean, I didn't hear it. That's why I asked. Very good. Yeah, somebody will be meeting the farrier out here on Saturday.
So then I got on. And even though we lunge, I always start off with a warm-up, which is walk, trot, and then I canter, and then we work on whatever we were working on for the day. And when I don't have lessons the week prior, I kind of forget how to ride Ruger a little bit, which is kind of bad, but we'll get back into it. So this lesson wasn't the best. And my instructor said that it looked like Ruger wasn't really following where I wanted her feet to go. So while I was in the trot, she told me to just do a lot of random circles and stuff.
And that doesn't necessarily just mean on the rail. It means in the very middle of the arena, on the outsides of the arena, different size circles, big circles, small circles, medium circles, circles on the rail, circles off the rail, circles all over. And I want you to get to where you can feel where it's, so you don't have, because you shouldn't have to do a bunch of pulling. You should be able to think, I'm going to make a circle, and your body's naturally going to move just to make the smallest adjustments, and she's going to follow you. So you got to keep your legs underneath you, quit pulling them back behind you, and keep your heels down.
One thing I really struggle with is I put my legs or my heels behind my the rest of my body, which is not a good habit. I'd rather have them in front than behind, and my heels go up, and so that's just not good. So I really need to try and work on that.
When you're using that leg to steer, because I think part of that is what I'm seeing is you're using that leg to steer. You like to bring your leg back to squeeze her. I want you to think about keeping that leg right where it is and just hugging her with it.
Get out of here. Get back in your
And where you just did right there is where it really becomes key that you need to keep your weight centered in the middle of her, because you went from one small circle and you changed directions the other direction, which is perfectly fine. But if you're leaning one way, making a circle, and then you change directions, you didn't shift your weight until she changed directions, and so she had to compensate for your weight and her weight. So you have to stay in the middle, and that's going to come from keeping your weight in your left hip.
So there's that too. Apparently I need to keep my weight in my left hip because I was putting all my weight in my right hip. And a thing about Ruger is when she's lazy, she tries to stall, and so she'll try to make small circles and try to get out of trotting or cantering, whether what it is. And lazy for Ruger is not a normal, a lazy horse. It's so she's really sensitive. She's not fast or anything, but she's really sensitive. So she requires very little leg. And so to today I really had to get on her a few times, which is very odd, and I'm not used to that on her.
Bryson, quit throwing stuff.
What, I want a kitty? Oh, I'm going to pick one up tonight.
And it all just kind of went like sour when I asked for the canter, because the thing about Ruger is she likes to try to cut across the arena for some reason. I don't know if it's a cue I'm giving her because she is so sensitive or something like that, but it was just not it.
Remember not to get in that fight. Just ask her for a corner if she's fighting you to go straight. Smooch, right now. Own it. There you go. Think about your corner. So you're setting yourself up for failure right there because you're heading straight at that and you're not starting to turn. Because she's heading straight into that corner and then you're expecting to do this really sharp corner. Own it. Sit and smooch. Don't let her fool you. Sit and smooch. Now start thinking about there. That's the way to do it. Eyes up. Keep your legs on. Smooch. When you feel her slow down, you need to smooch her back into it. Don't give her that chance to break. Now own it. Sit up. Quit leaning forward. Smooch her back into it. Smooch. You feel that little bit of stubbornness coming. I can see you predicting it. Now you need to act on it before it comes full circle. Smooch. Squeeze and smooch. Quit letting her ping pong around the arena. Squeeze and smooch. Without thinking out of your head. Because you should be able to at any point in time say, okay, we're going to canter now, and that's what we're going to do. You're babying her and expecting her to act naughty and being like, well, I'm better off if I ask in this spot, which is not the way I want you to think about it. I want you to own it like she's going to canter when you ask her to. Own it. There you go. What? I need to walk. Yeah, I gotta get the shaving so I can put the round pin up. Yeah. Okay, bye. Yeah. Put the round pin up.
And then she did 2 really good laps of steady, nice, even canter. So that's when I told her, whoa, and then I just walked her out.
And with screen burnout. And Mike, I'll deal with my no service issues.
I walked like 6 laps, but my mom only got that little bit on video. So then I just hopped off. So then I untacked.
Hey, Brighton, you're not looking super clean, sir. Oops.
So lucky for you, I'm providing these extra clips that I got from other days at the barn. So that big buck that just happened was Penny in the purple blanket, and then Peyton is the gray with no blanket on, and then Ruger's the little crackhead can't turn around with the blue blanket. Alright, while you watch them, I'm going to do a little Q&A. So the first one is, how old are the horses? Okay, so Ruger is 9 or 10, I think. Penny is 28. Lucky is 10. Nick is 17, and Sangria is 6. So, yeah. And then the next one is, who's my favorite? Ruger. We all expected that one. Okay. Barrels or poles? So I've never actually tried pole bending, but I really want to try it because I feel like it'd be really fun. But right now, barrels. How tall is Ruger? Ruger is almost 16 hands. She's 15'3", and
I've never seen Penny gallop
she's just like a hair away from being 16 hands. So we just consider her as 16 hands. How tall am I? I am 5'5", and that's why Ruger kind of looks small. What is Penny trained for? She is a retired barrel horse. She was my instructor's main horse, but due to a leg injury, she had to retire at like 23. And the last one is, what is my biggest riding fear? Probably being stuck in one spot. So when I rode Nick, he didn't really do anything like that I wanted him to do, and I was just stuck on him for like a full year. Like, I made no progress, so I feel like that'd be one of my bigger fears. So this is that Monday that my instructor was gone, and my instructor's husband said that Ruger was being a little cray-cray, and so I let her zoom and get all of her zoomies out in the arena, and then when I was done with both of the mare stalls, I lunged her. Here's a little bit of Nick. I don't know if any of you guys are here that watch me now that remember him, but he was at the beginning of my lessons. I rode him for about a year. Do not miss riding him, honestly. And then I unbraided Ruger's mane that I did like 5 weeks ago because it was giving me anger issues. But then I just brushed it out. And I thought I would add this clip in because I feel like I look so short. So yeah, that was this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Come back next Friday for another one.